we have head coach Paul Maurice. Please raise your hand, wait for the microphone. We'll start front left with Jameson.
Coach, for a long time now, a 7-game series has kind of been your team's mantra. They talk about it going even back to training camp. How much did the way the final unfolded last year maybe reinforce that and kind of help that mentality with this group?
Yeah, I mean, the things that you talked to came to pass. So that's part of our collective experience, understanding what a game 4 feels like when you're up 3, the value of being in the series in each game mentally the same way, regardless of the game count. Gives you just a place to process, a place to keep your mind so you're not looking at each game as so completely different than the next. So you get a bit more consistency maybe mentally. You stay a little tighter with your own thoughts about how we're coming out to play.
Very hard hitting here. Brad Marchand revealed last night that he was enjoying ice cream after the second period. Is this a new
fact?
That is, he said this on Sports.
Well, no, I know he said it. I'm just not sure that makes it a fact.
We have not confirmed with DQ.
No,
There was
yeah.
something with a spoon. We know that.
This is a conspiracy theory. I know that our general manager's a little bit of a ice cream aficionado, so maybe that comes from him. Maybe he green-lighted it. There's a story. Bill Zito's feeding the guys ice cream in between periods.
But
And I know where he got it too. I know the company he uses.
It's
deep.
well,
This is deep. There's lots of different angles in this story.
So
hard with it.
Brad telling us it was a blizzard indicates DQ was
Oh,
involved.
really? Well,
Yes.
that takes Bill out. He's far more.
No, he's-
DQ isn't refined. Now you piss off an entire company.
We're
He's
aware
more
of-
of a niche ice cream dude.
We're aware of Bill's.
Yeah. Okay.
The fact that he went out and scored, will blizzards be available to just about
Probably,
everybody
yeah,
now going forward?
Yeah, we'll run with that. There's cameras everywhere, man. We can't get away with anything anymore, but that would be a good story. And I'd have no problem with it. Just as long as it doesn't get on the sweater.
Right side front row.
Did he give you like a flavor?
Yeah, chocolate chip.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
Not mine.
If this is made up, it's very detailed.
I don't know. He's put some time into it then, eh? Good for him.
Since we're on the ice cream train, what would your go-to be? What would your ice cream
Oh,
choice be?
be something with cherry in it, I think. Black cherry, raspberry or cherry. Yeah.
All right. And then my next question, AJ Greer left the game late, I think like right when you guys went on that last
Yeah, I don't
play.
think that. I think we'll know by the morning skate. Like, I think everybody's going to be ready to go tomorrow. I think we're still waiting on Sam Reinhart. I'll have an answer for you tomorrow. I don't think that's a game timer for us. We'll just decide in the morning skate who's playing. So I'll have all that for you tomorrow.
But with Reinhardt not playing, we saw the video of him in the room still doing the lineup read. Just what did that mean for the group for him to still be part of the pregame
Yeah.
stuff even though he wasn't able to play in the game?
Well, especially with his leadership role, but his leadership ability. He's also in the pregame meeting, the hour and a half, 5-on-5 meeting. We keep, I want to say, even players that aren't playing in the meeting so they don't lose the theme of it. Because we'll do some video here today, very short. Just sometimes it's an area that we're trying to highlight that we did well, and it'll also be, this is the thing we got to be mindful of. And then we'll do just a real quick kind of systems overview tomorrow night. But we have all those guys in all those meetings just so they don't lose the theme of it.
Left side, second row.
So is Reinhardt a possibility has he been able to skate or do anything so far?
Yeah, he's not cleared, but he hasn't been ruled out either. I know that sounds a little bit ambiguous, but it's not. That's exactly where he's at. We're hopeful that it's not long-term. Like, when I mean that, it's day-to-day. I don't think it's going to move out that. But he still has to get back on the ice. There's still some steps here.
You've got a team full of players who've been here and been in these situations, but Seth Jones, a guy who hasn't been on those kind of teams. This is definitely the deepest he's ever been. And how big of a moment do you think, tomorrow, every game at this point is for him?
He's got a little more experience, though, than none. We played Nashville, and Nashville finished the 1 year with 114 points, and we had 112, and ended up in the second round together, and that went 7 games, and it was an incredible series. And I can remember watching that. We would get the lead, and then he'd round the back of the net, and we didn't have an answer for it. Like, he was that fast when he was young that he could get up the ice like that. So he's got some experience. Part of, a major upset over Tampa Bay and Columbus, that was huge. So he has some of that, but he hasn't been brought in here to drive that bus on the back end. It's just to be a part of it. And that allows these guys, I think, just to kind of really narrow to their own game and have some confidence in coverage with the people around them.
Left side, third row.
Hey, Paul. Analytically, the Verhaeghe, Bennett, Kachuk line is one of your best this postseason. Last postseason, Bennett, Kachuk, and Rodriguez was one of your best lines analytically. The constant being Sam and Matthew.
Right.
What is it about those two that just clicks and you're able to kind of build off that duo?
They have similarities in their fearless in how they play. So they're not late getting to pucks. And then they are exact opposites. And that's truly how they complement each other. Sam's speed is underrated. He's an incredibly fast skater. Matthew isn't. Matthew's hands are fine. Small area, quick plays. Sam's got good hands too. They're just different. But Sam Bennett will open ice for Matthew Kachuk, and Matthew Kachuk will make inside plays to those guys. And then you have you've got the two lefties in Verhaeghe and Rodriguez. They're quite a bit different as well, but where Carter's speed and his release, their ability to kind of jump on broken plays. And when you think back to the playoffs of the last few years, that's almost how they score their goals. They'd be a forecheck, a turnover, it's on Hags' stick, and it's off. But Evan Rodriguez, from an analytics point of view, is one of our best forwards in kill plays. Kill plays to offense, right? What's the next thing that happens after the event? And in the final last year, he was our best forward in kill plays. So the diversity in style is actually a really good thing for us because they all meet the minimum threshold of production. You got to be good players to be different. If you got 3 or 4 guys that aren't great and they're all different, you're that line. So the opposite would be the Nosek line, right? These guys aren't at the $10 million a year payroll. They're equally important to our style of play because they all play the similar game.
Take a few more for coach, right side, second row.
Hey, Paul, just Mikla, is there any update there?
Yeah, I think he's good too, but we're going to give it another day to make sure.
What have you seen in his game that enables him to continuously elevate?
I think what he's added is his confidence of getting up ice. That would be the thing that he wasn't up ice very much when he first got here, learning new systems, learning a new play, guys to play with. And we had a little bit of fun with it, right? Him getting up the ice, and the next thing you know, it's fairly consistent. I mean, he's one of our best net drivers on our team. Like, he doesn't go wide unless he's got the puck. He's going right down the middle. Confidence is, it's everything out there. And I'm not talking about my hands feel good kind of confidence. I got nothing to. I don't know how to deal with that. When a guy's not scoring, we say score harder, shoot. But confidence to play a game that the other people will be where they're supposed to be, and then I get to do this. I get to get up ice, and it's not an automatic 3-on-1 going the other way. So he's a little bit of confidence in the people around him, and then, yeah, he surprised me with his straightaway speed has improved. It's gotten stronger. He's faster than he was. I don't know that. Well, I know that I didn't expect that, but we're taking it.
Right side, third row.
Paul, guys can be complimented in this league, called a grinder, scorer, whatever it might be. Matthew Kachuk just called Sam Bennett a playoff player. Curious, what do you think of that compliment of a player? And is that sort of like the ultimate compliment?
Yeah. In the playoffs, all elements are present. It's not true in the regular season. It's a function of 82 games and the travel, and also different teams at different development curves. But all elements, there is speed, there are hands, but there's physicality, and there's a level of intensity that it's not in the regular season, and nobody could play that. We couldn't, everybody plays hurt in the playoffs. And I don't even know what our number count. I think the next game is 16 or 17, and we played 9 games in 15 days in the regular season. You just can't play that way. But in the playoffs, all the elements of our game are intensified, but they're all present. So the best guys can do all things. Now, there's some good players that yeah, I'll just leave it at that. The very best players can excel in all areas. They can be a little bit physical. They can be hard. They can skate. They can drive. They can make plays. They are excited about the opportunity. They don't wilt under the pressure or the moment. They can. A lot of those guys, they'll play a version of that. Like Sam's not far off. Like his playoffs game's different, as our whole team is. But he plays similar to that game all year. He plays pretty darn hard. So it's not a major shift for him. I mean, that's probably the best way to put it. I'm just branching off and about, sometimes it hurts. Okay, yeah, that's what I meant to say.
We'll do one more question.
Just, your personality on the ice, is brashness, confident. You mentioned fearlessness with the identity of your players, and yet off the ice, whenever we talk to them, they are, they talk about being humble. And how do they, is it real? Or like, how do they balance that contradiction? Because it's always the first words out of, Bobrovsky's mouth,
Yeah.
Barkov's mouth after every game.
I'll ask you two questions. They might be personal. You don't have to answer me. Have you ever shotgunned a beer? Have you ever been to church?
Not church.
But something spiritual?
Yeah.
Would you shotgun a beer in church? Okay, that doesn't make you a hypocrite.
Right.
There's a context and a place for all things. I will tell you they're honest. These men are honest. So that personality, like, certainly, it's all real. I hated Matthew Tkachuk. It's a little too strong when I was in Winnipeg, right? Like, and then you meet him and you go, oh my God, what a wonderful human being. Last night after the game, one of our players had a young fellow that was fighting cancer at the game, and his mom and dad were there just to say hello after, and Matthew walked out, and I wish you could see that. First of all, I thought, hey, this is Matthew Tkachuk. You know who he is? He goes, yeah, everybody knows who he is, right? Like, and then you need to see that. You need, because that's real. Now, they're hard on the ice. They are. And most of that is driven by how they feel about each other. They don't want to let the other guy down. Like, it's not, there's a caring about them. But remember I've said these guys are different? Like, Barkov's personality is our room, right? And then there's, like, Sam Bennett. Sam and his wife are, raising money for cats and dogs. Like, they're really, really nice people. And then the puck drops, right? Sometimes you say a prayer, sometimes you shotgun a beer. It's kind of like our team. That was as fast as I could come up with one. And sorry about the personal stuff, but okay, we're good? Okay, thanks, guys.